All right, well, the Irish and Scottish teams are just being introduced to the crowd here. Scotland in the blue T-shirts and Ireland in the green. We will join you after the presentation.
Number 1, Owen Doyle. Number 2, Mark Moran. Number 3, Kieran Walsh. Number 4, Conor Johnston. Number 5, Matthew Hines. Number 6, Adam Caulfield. Number 7, Stefan McMahon. Number 9, Adrian Hanna. Number 10, Max Connolly. Number 11, Aidan Mullaney. Number 12, Killian Colvin. Number 13, Shane O'Brien. Number 14, James Reid. Number 15, Tiernan Colvin. Head coach, Goran Sablik. Team manager, Eamon Caulfield. In Whitecaps, from Scotland, we have captain and number 4, Andrew Melville. Number 1, Wesley Connellan. 3, Matthew Seward. 5, Luca Dodero Pollock. 6, Finlay Nesbitt. 7, Ben Scott. 8, Ross Stewart. 9, Rory Nesbitt. 10, Dominique Sahara. 11, Lewis Hunter. 12, James Miller. 13, Thomas Cameron. Head coach, Mark Speed. Team manager, Ian Melville. Our referees this morning are Conor Dukes from England and Mike Dukes from Wales, with our delegate, Mr. Stephen O'Brien from Ireland. Please all be upstanding for the Scottish National Anthem.
Please all rise standing for the Irish national anthem.
Hello and welcome back to game number 2 here on this beautiful Saturday morning in the northwest of County Dublin, live from the National Aquatic Centre. It's Ireland against Scotland, and 2 beautiful anthems have been played here around Naveen, and the flower of Scotland and the hair would really stand up on your arms. Mick O'Kane, you're joining us again after being down poolside. It's fantastic conditions down there.
Yeah, and look, I had a chance to talk to some of the England players from the Penguin side, Elliott in goals and James Salt, 2 players who had a really strong game in that first opener, and both of them were talking about what lies ahead this evening against this very good Ireland side. It has to be said, as we talked about last night, all of these players have come off the back of the Irish Senior Cup last weekend in Bangor, so they'll be battle hardened. Maybe will they be battle weary? Only time will tell as we see them in this opening game against Scotland. But I expect Ireland, just like the Irish ladies last night, and again congrats to them on a great first win, to come out of the blocks with all guns blazing.
Yeah, all right, well, let's take a check on the Irish 15 that has been named for this Home Nations tournament here. And it's Owen Doyle, Mark Moran, Kieran Walsh, Conor Johnson, Matthew Hines, Adam Caulfield, Stefan McMahon, Owen Bridgman, Adrian Hanna, Max Conley, Aidan Mullaney, Killian Colvin, Shane O'Brien, James Reid and Tiernan Colvin. Lots of players in there from the victorious Irish Cup winning side St Vincent's and from the beaten finalists Cathal Brugha, so they will bring lots to the fray today.
Yeah, and you also didn't get to mention, but thanks for that, you left it to me, my own teammate, clubmate James Reid from our North Dublin club here, and then with Shane O'Brien as well, goalkeeper, second with Owen Doyle. So this is a team coming across from various clubs: Sandy Cove, Corrib, St Vincent's, Cathal Brugha, Drogheda, and North Dublin. So it's a really strong team from all of these great clubs here in Ireland. And as I said, we're expecting a very strong first game performance. However, what's in front of them, Scotland, aren't just here to make up the numbers. They themselves will want to show what they are capable of this morning, Kieran.
Yeah, well, Ireland in the green hats. Scotland will wear white. And let's just run through that Ireland team in maybe a little bit more detail, Mick, if you will. We spoke earlier on about the Irish goalkeeper Owen Doyle from Sandy Cove. He had a fantastic semi-final last week, but unfortunately they didn't make it to the final from the Sandy Cove point of view. But moving on maybe to the man from Corrib, also defeated in the semi-final, Mark Moran. Yeah,
so Mark is a business graduate from the University of Galway. He's been playing Waterpolo with Corrib in the west of Ireland from the age of 8, Kieran, when he joined their academy programme. Again, something that we're seeing a lot more of across the country, and credit to all the academy coaches out there in all different clubs who are making these players come through to senior level water polo. So we expect a lot from Mark. He's a right side driver and he has 13 senior Irish caps, and he likes to play on the right side.
Yes, indeed. And wearing the number 3, also from Corrib, Kieran Walsh.
Kieran Walsh, he's a man mountain as a centre forward, 39, one of the older members of the team. But Kieran is somebody who, once he gets good clean ball in the hole, in set, he will do some damage. And we expect to see Kieran have a fine game this morning from the Corrib club.
All right, well, the first player from the current champions, St Vincent's, that we're going to talk about is Conor Johnston.
Yeah, Conor Johnston, a left side driver. He's known for shooting sometimes too much, and a little bit like myself when I'm playing the old dodgy lob. But when he does put it away, he puts it away with aplomb, and he's one of those Vincent's players that performed so well last weekend in the Irish Senior Cup, and we must congratulate Vincent's again on a fine win last weekend up in Bangor. Well done all.
Yeah, and indeed it was the first club double at ladies and men's level since 2018, so fantastic achievement for them. The whistle has sounded and the initial swim-off has started, and Ireland look to be going to win the ball here in this second game of the morning session. In fact, they have won it, and a big cheer goes up on the Irish team, now trying to attack through Owen Bridgman.
The young man from Drogheda,
and Bridgman just
Aidan Mullaney winning the ball.
Attacking
well done,
centrally, and he's an option inside if he wants it, and that option there coming from Adam Caulfield, and Caulfield, as quick as he gets it, lays it off now to Aidan Mullaney. But Scotland have done well and turned it over, and they turned it over there with Dominic Zara. So Scotland coming up on the right hand side now through Finlay Nesbitt, and there's been an infringement, and Scotland move it quickly, and they've got it inside now to Andrew Melville, and Melville just getting the attention there close, but they've worked it across to this near side to the chance. Oh, brilliant save. What a really good save from Owen Doyle when the flick on came from Luca De Ladro Pollock. And the Sandy Cove number 1 was quick off his line and quick to save. And there's another chance for Scotland. It could be trouble for Ireland. It's not. It's just a free just for a minor. There's been an exclusion, the first exclusion of the game for Matthew Hines. And Scotland trying to work it again with their number 5 now, De Ladro Pollock. But they've worked it back centrally and they're gone out the far side. Still loads of time left in the shot clock for the Scots, and they're happy enough just to tease the Irish defence and work something, and playing lots of 1-2s there between Scott and Nesbitt, Ben Scott and Rory Nesbitt, and Scotland eventually with another effort. Good save there.
Lovely stuff
from
from
Doyle.
Killian Colvin.
So Scotland just trying to work it out now through Andrew Melville once again, and Melville, oh, good hand, but does Scotland have the ball still, and Doyle's off his line and they've worked it up. It was a really good hand there from, I think it was Conor Johnson, to take out the sting out of that attack, and Ireland will be happy enough with that opening passage of defending.
Yeah, indeed. Overall, a nice start. I mean, Coach Goran Sablic, he's put a lot of work into this team, just like we saw last night with the ladies team and Gary O'Brien. This is a team that has come through together. They know each other really well, so let's see how this all goes from this morning.
Yeah, and the Irish just turned over there. They were trying to break with Matthew Hines deep into the hole, but it was well turned over by the Scots, and Ireland just in the Scottish half of the pool have fouled. The foul coming in that time from Killian Colvin. His sister was excellent last night. Cleaner for the ladies on their win, and Ireland again pushing the Scots really high up the pitch. This time it's with Matthew Hines, and Ireland have eventually turned the ball over. The foul was committed on Adam Caulfield by a Scottish player. That Scottish player was indeed Rory Nesbitt, and the ball is in the safe hands of Owen Doyle. And
classic defending from Adam Caulfield. He's renowned for being able to keep players out, keep them tight, and he did really well there.
Good shot off the crossbar. Really good shot. Wesley Connellan in the Scottish goals was beaten all ends up there. That was an absolute rasper of a shot coming in from Owen Bridgman. And Ireland have it again, but a little flick on round the corner there. I think it was Stefan McMahon, or Steo as he's effectively known, but it's back in the hands of Connellan, and Scotland will break down the right hand side with Ben Scott. Scott now has lots of water in front of him and he's happy to just swim into it, being chased by Steo McMahon, but he's one-on-one with Doyle, and a lovely little flick shot off the water and into Doyle's net. Good finish, and Scotland, they have been threatening and they've got the reward. Yeah, indeed. I mean, that was again one of those bench shots we've talked about a lot, Kieran. We're hoping to see all through this tournament, and that was the young Ben Scott from the Portobello side. He's had 12 caps so far, and his biggest water polo achievement has been winning the Nags for him. So really nice finish there from the young Ben Scott. Yeah, and so far both teams looking to press each other as high up the pool as possible, and the ball is back now with Owen Bridgman. Bridgman just playing as a point and just trying to orchestrate the attack and see what he can do, and he's got options in here now with Caulfield, and Caulfield played it into Stefan McMahon. McMahon plays it across really quick, a quick 1-2 back to McMahon, a chance of an equaliser. What a finish, the 1-2 between Ireland, Stefan McMahon and Matthew Hines. Got back to McMahon, and a really good finish that time, and Ireland responding excellently, Mick. And yeah, indeed, look, we talked about it again last night. Both of these teams would have went hell for leather last weekend against each other, Cathal Brugha and Vincent, and there you see both players playing brilliant combined play there to get the first opener. So great to see a Vincent's Cathal Brugha combination there, Kieran. Yeah, absolutely, but that was a really good passage of 1-2 interplay, and it was so quick that Wesley Connellan didn't even have a chance to realise where the ball was coming from, and suddenly McMahon put it into the back of the Scottish net, and Ireland will be happy, and the head coach will be delighted with that response and quick succession from the Irish team. Meanwhile, there was a foul there from Kieran Walsh, and Walsh fouled the Scottish number 5, and that's Luca De Ladro Pollock. But Scotland have it now in the wide area, and that ball is with Rory Nesbitt. Oh, what a brilliant save again from Doyle. It was came in from Nesbitt, and the flick came down from Dominique Zahra. But a really good save from the Sandy Cove, and Ireland number 1, Owen Doyle, and he is in fact set away. Ireland in attack, it's Killian Colvin, and Colvin puts a really good ball into a central area now for Adam Caulfield, and Caulfield just got the ball away really quickly to Kieran Walsh. Walsh took a shot first time, beaten down by Wesley Connellan, and that's good goalkeeper from the Scottish number 1. Really good goalkeeper from the Scottish number 1, so again that builds his confidence to get some nice early saves. Yeah, indeed, and Scotland have won the ball in the Irish area.
Another expulsion for Ireland early on, Kieran.
Yeah, another one, and that one there was Cillian Colvin, so he won't be happy with that, and neither will the Ireland head coach Goran Sabolic. So Scotland still have the ball and still trying to work something and probe the Irish defence, but Ireland have got very narrow, and I don't know if that one will count.
Yeah, because what happened there was that he was inside 2 metres, Kieran, so that goal wouldn't count. If you're inside 2, unfortunately the goal won't be allowed.
Yeah, and just before I said that, I was just going to remark Ireland had defended quite well and quite narrow and weren't giving Scotland space, so they had to score illegally. Meanwhile, Ireland now trying to work something, and the ball has been played from central areas and it's back in the hands now here with Adam Caulfield, the extra man, and Ireland just trying to work something, and it's back into the hands of James Reid.
James Reid of the North Dublin club. Bum, 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 bum. Good man, James, getting on the score sheet for your Ireland teammates and from your club mates in North Dublin. Great to see you in there getting some water.
So James Reid with his opening goal of the morning. It was good interplay between the Irish front three, and Mullaney and Cillian Colvin back into James Reid, and Reid did really well just to stick it into the back of Wesley Connellan's net. And with 4.5 minutes on the clock, Ireland lead by 2-1, and they will be really happy with that, Mick. This early exchanges here. Scotland, Owen Doyle had to make a couple of really big saves, but as I said, Ireland have a 3-on-2 here, and they have a real chance to make hay. The ball is in the hands now of Tiernan Colvin. Colvin has a chance. He's a man centrally. He's gone for the one at the back stick. That man at the back stick with a good shot there from Aidan Mullaney, but Wesley Connellan more than equal to it. Possibly should have been another Irish goal.
Indeed, Kieran. So, and the danger there is that when that shot doesn't go in, we have an opportunity for Scotland to counter.
Yeah, and counter they will, and they have a chance now. Can Owen Doyle be equal to this one?
Oh!
No, he can't. That was a beautiful finish. James Miller, he knew the task he had in beating Owen Doyle, so he went for a lovely little push shot. Very basketball-esque, in fact, and it just found the hoop.
Yeah, James, young man from Caledonia, and welcome and hello to all your teammates and family and friends tuned in over there at the Caledonia Club. So really nice finish, and everybody loves an L lob.
Yeah, can't beat it. So Ireland will restart with your clubmate James Reid getting the second of Ireland's 2 goals, and he's getting into a little bit of tangle there with Dominic Zahra. And the ball has gone forward, but Scotland have turned it over. It couldn't be retained by Tiernan Colvin, and Scotland have a chance deep into Irish territory. The chance is coming here for Dominic Zahra. He's got away from the attentions of Reid. Oh, that's a brilliant finish. He did everything he had to do. He made the keeper make the first move, and a good finish.
Yeah, look, it was a really nice finish from the young man from the Caledonian club, Dominic Zahra. So we have 2 players there, Lewis Hunter and Dominic Zahra, featuring early, and he had a bit of work to do because it's not easy to go and beat Owen Doyle in a one-on-one. He's renowned for being able to get up high, spread himself across the goal, across the cage, but in that instance Dominic Zahra was able to get one past him.
Yeah, really good finish. Now the ball is being taken forward by James Reid. There was some sort of infringement there on Adam Caulfield because he smacked the water just in disbelief. The referee didn't see it quicker. Caulfield has it back from Reid, back to Reid again now. Good interplay between the two. Trying to work something here now with Connor Johnston, but Johnston got a right clatter on the head and just pops it in out to a centre. He tried the quick flick there, was coming in from, was it Matthew Hines? But Scotland have doubled up and Scotland have done well, and Hines is clearly not happy.
Yeah, and he's a very strong player, is Matthew, so he wouldn't have been too fazed by that bit of a tussle.
No, and that was nearly a really good intercept there by Connor Johnson. He took the ball down but just couldn't hold on to it, and Scotland have an opportunity. Oh, that was a really good shot from Ben Scott, but it hit the crossbar and has gone, thankfully from the Irish point of view, out to the left-hand side. But then the ball surrendered again because Scotland were infringed, and now Scotland will try and work it forward and try and create something. They have it back with James Miller, one of the goal scorers, works it across to this side now to Matthew Seward, and Scotland just trying to do something inside the final 10 seconds. And can they do something? It's a bounce shot to come off the crossbar, and easily enough dealt with for the Irish. It was mopped up by Max Connolly before giving it back to Owen Doyle.
Yeah, so it's good to see the Irish team holding up well in the 6-on-5, or the man up as it's commonly known. And so again, when it comes to if the game is tight, which we're seeing so far, being able to defend those 6-on-5s and then obviously score them as well will be so important in this game.
Oh, that was sensational stuff Adam Caulfield, just as he leaned back here, was a brilliant pass across from Owen Bridgman. And that is a super finish. Couldn't work it at the near post. That was the only option he had. And it was interesting that the first time Adrian Hanna's in the water, Ireland were a little bit more creative in attack.
Again, and Caulfield, when he gets down the right hand side and he gets that left option, because being a lefty, it's a brilliant asset to have on any team, and Adam was able to use that to get that one in. Great goal, and brings it to 3-3.
Yeah, so Ireland have responded very well to any of the Scottish pressure. But Scotland have possession of the ball, and they're coming forward here with Luca Deladero Pollock. And he just works a little short one there to Ben Scott. Scott getting a lot of ball in this opening quarter. Back to Pollock, and across now to Seward.
To the driver.
Tried to work something, but there's been yet another exclusion, and it's Tiernan Colvin this time who's leaving the action for the 20 seconds, but he'll be back in then as Scotland try and work it around, and there are just loads of 1-2 here between Scott, and it's back to Pollock, and he working out. What a save, beaten down, but second time of asking. Really good finish from Dominic Zahra that time. It was a good save from Doyle, but he palmed it down, and the one man alert to it was Zahra, and just with the backhanded shot there, using all those triceps to flick it past the Sandy Cove number one.
Ireland were unlucky there because it looked like they had defended the 6-on-5 quite well. One of the things the head coach for Ireland, Goran, will be looking at is that Scotland are driving quite well. We talk about being able to press teams out, but with the drive, they're getting gaps, but they're also getting men excluded, Kieran. So that's a bit of a danger for Goran, because 3 exclusions of a player and they're off the roster for the entire match.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that was a really heavy frontal challenge there from the Irish number 8 Owen Bridgman on the Scottish number 10 Dominic Zahra, and Bridgman looked puzzled, but I can tell you it was a big hit from up here. It must have been bigger down there, but it's been a really good response from Zahra, and for the third time in the opening 7 minutes and 40 seconds he has put the ball in Owen Doyle's net.
Look, you've got to take the opportunities as they come to you, and Scotland at the moment are being accurate in front of goal. So 5-3, it's quite an exciting game, Kieran, we have in store here.
Yeah, very exciting game indeed. And the one thing looking on, Mick, that you'd be a little bit concerned about was we thought we had a good game in the previous one after the end of quarter number 1. It was 3-1 to England, and we saw how that one fizzled out. We're hoping this doesn't go the same way.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to know in certain games, Kieran, but from what I'm seeing so far, this is going to be...
what a goal! Oh, that was brilliant. Absolutely sensational stuff. Max Conley inside, and Tiernan Colvin, as quick as he had it in the back of Wesley Connellan's net. Mick, that was awesome stuff.
That was a really, really great goal. Fantastic stuff, and brings Ireland back into 5-4.
Brilliant. We've 3 seconds left on the clock, and then Mick is going to get 2 Americanos, and we'll be back for quarter number 2. Ireland cut the possession out, and there goes the end of the first quarter. Good opening quarter. Scotland lead 5-4. All right, welcome back to the National Aquatic Centre here in Dublin. What an opening and exciting quarter we've had to the second game here on this beautiful Saturday morning of the Home Nations Championships, and it's Ireland trailing Scotland by 5-4. And Mick, just we were going through some of the Irish players there and the experience they have coming off the back of the Senior Cup last weekend, and we're talking about the Scottish players and the experience they have from Team GB. But one Irish player who I think has really caught the imagination there in that opening quarter was Adam Caulfield.
Yeah, Adam from the Corrib club. He's very dependable. Then up and down that right wing, and you know it was a good solid opener for Adam. But I feel there's a bit more to be seen with this Irish team. Sometimes, Kieran, as you know, opening games can have a little bit of nerves. So let's see what happens in this second quarter.
Well, what a start from Matthew Hines for Ireland, and the head coach Goran Zabalik will be very happy with that. Exactly what he would have wanted, and a fantastic start. Just 19 seconds on the clock, and Ireland back level. And that's a really good finish that time to the bottom of Wesley Connellan's net from Matthew Hines. So 5-5 Scotland have ball in hand trying to push forward, and the foul committed there from Killian Colvin, and it's come across now, and it's a straight swim out, but the Scottish man has won it and trying to pick the best option. He did that, was Finlay Nesbitt. A good shot save from Owen Doyle, and that's going out for a corner. So Scotland with possession in hand here now of Rory Nesbitt. Nesbitt gives it back out to Deladro Pollock, and chance now for Ben Scott to do something with it, and he's found a really good pass. Can Owen Doyle, it's brilliant goalkeeping from Owen Doyle, just as Scotland were about to pull the trigger through Deladro Pollock, but a really good piece of play. In fact, it was Finlay Nesbitt who was about to pull it, but Doyle more than equal to it, and Max Connolly has it now, driving down this right hand side, cutting in on the left hand again. Mick speaking about that earlier on, the benefits of it. Oh, what a chance! This would be unbelievable if it goes in. Oh, has to be a penalty, does it? Oh, that flick was absolutely incredible from Matthew Hines. That was worth the admission fee alone.
Absolutely, and what he's done, he's got himself a goal, penalty opportunity, but the skill itself from Matthew was absolutely top drawer. And
it was as if Mickey put the hand on top of the ball and used the momentum of the water to flick it up.
He used his foot as well to flick it and get it over the defenders. It's really, really great skill.
Unbelievable stuff that. It'd be well worth the goal from Steo, but a good one-handed save down to the right from Wesley Connellan. That deserved more from Ireland for that piece of skill alone, but nothing's given to you in this game. You have to earn it, and a really good save from Connellan.
I know, and Steve McMahon normally lethal in front of goal, particularly when it comes to penalties. We've one man who's not playing here today for Ireland, Stevie Nolan, who's an absolute incredible penalty taker and has played for Ireland as well. Hello to Stevie. Bum, 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 bum.
That looks a little bit harsh there on Owen Bridgman. But anyway, Scotland have the ball, and the Scots are just trying to work something down this left-hand side. It's been more favourable for them. And now they lost the shot clock. Ireland had a breakaway, and Scotland very cleverly just threw the ball to the sideline here so Ireland couldn't build on it.
Indeed, and it's a tactic. You'll see it all across the tournament over the weekends. When the shot isn't on, just get it to the corners.
Yeah, and here's another one there for Colvin. Good save from Connellan. And Colvin has that centre-forward role. He's doing really well.
Yeah, well, in that case, instead again, it was Matthew Hines in there, but on that occasion, he just wasn't able to get the shot away. But Matthew's working really well, really hard in there at that central area.
So Scotland just trying to work it now again. They're coming through Deladro Pollock, and having it now is Rory Nesbitt. And Nesbitt, I think he was doing a bit of pulling there, and Ireland are coming out now with Owen Doyle. And Doyle has found Bridgman in Killian Colvin, in loads of room, and there's options over on the far side. There are two options centrally if he wants them. One of them Matthew Hines, but he's gone for the back stick, and that ball is in the left hand there of Max Connolly, and it's come across again. Chance! Oh, it skid off the surface. I don't think many people knew much about that one. The shot came in there from Owen Bridgman, but it just went out and wide. So Scotland delighted to see that one going wide. 5-5. And Scotland breaking up the pitch now. They've gone wide and left here, trying to force the Irish defence out to come to them and not keep them in a narrow shape. And now they've switched the ball across to the far side, trying to just probe their way through and try and work something. And little pop pass around the corner, but again Doyle, very sharp defending, and then he was ably assisted by Max Connolly and Owen Bridgman. And Ireland coming down the field now on the far side with Killian Colvin. What can he do? He decided to come across to this side of the pool. Adam Caulfield. And Caulfield now has two options centrally. Both of them been really well marshalled. But
looking for his teammate Kieran Walsh in there in the centre.
But they can't work it, and Stefan McMahon has it. And McMahon, he's getting good attention there from the Scottish defender, but illegally so, and just gives it back centrally now to Killian Colvin, and Colvin back to Stefan McMahon. It's inside. Oh, McMahon! What a goal!
Steel McMahon!
Oh my goodness me!
Pick that one out. Scorchio, bum, 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 bum. What a goal for Steel
McMahon making up for the penalty miss moments ago. But that was an absolutely beautiful finish from the Belfast man. Off the post, a lob shot, and the way it just trickled across the line was lovely, Mick.
Oh, I'm sure his teammates and everybody watching back in Cathal really enjoyed that one. Really classy finish from the brilliant Steel McMahon of Cathal. Of
course, Cathal were going for 3 in a row Irish Senior Cups before they were beaten by Vincent's last week in what was a really good final at the Ora in Bangor in the county of Down.
Yeah, it's a place that's very fond to myself, Kieran. I won the Irish Senior Cup there with my club North Dublin 2017, so Bangor's a place that we think of fondly.
Yeah, lovely town on the northern coast of Down. But meanwhile, back here on the northwest side of Dublin, Scotland are trying to work something with Matthew Seward, and Seward just gives it across centrally, but the referee is looking for another expulsion. I think it's actually it's play on, I think.
There is
an expulsion, yeah. And it's the Irish number 3.
Aidan Mullany from Drogheda.
So I don't think anyone out of the pool, but maybe my eyes are letting me down. They are
right,
actually, yeah, 100%. Aidan Mullany down to my left.
5 for Scotland.
Oh, off the post comes to Ireland's rescue once again. I think Owen Doyle might have had it covered regardless. They've swapped it out to the far side. Now they've got a century, but it overhit. And there's a chance again for Scotland. The foul coming in that time from the man re-entering the fray, Aidan Mullany. But meanwhile, Scotland have it coming through the central area with Ross Stewart, and Stewart has found a really good pass. Oh, that was excellent defending. He just nicked it off him there. I think it was done by Owen Bridgman just as Ross Stewart was about to pull the trigger. A timely intervention.
Yeah, and that's the experience that a player like Owen Bridgman brings to the team. He's very tight in defence, and he is able to help. And all of these are so important, Kieran, because it is, again, a close game.
All right, well, Tiernan Colvin back to Adrian Hanna, and Hanna just pops into the central area to Matthew Hines. Or not to Matthew Hines, indeed, it was to James Reid.
A bit of a speculative effort. I mean, in games like this, Kieran, you've got to be accurate. If the shot's on, you want to make sure you've got your sense of it. And in that instance, James was just a little bit speculative. We need to see him a bit more clinical.
A lot of power generated in that one there, Mick. Now, Scotland trying to come forward, and Adrian Hanna doing really well to marshal Rory Nesbitt, and he's done really well. He's using his full size. Oh, brilliant beat down from Doyle. Great credit to Adrian Hanna. Put lots of pressure on to Rory Nesbitt and made the shot difficult for him, but when he did get it away, Doyle, the Sandy Cove number 1,
Rory
more
Nesbitt,
than equal to it.
The young Caledonia player. This is his 5th cap for Scotland, and his biggest achievement was scoring in his international debut, but putting in a fine shift for this Scottish team, as they all are. It's a really good game to watch, Kieran.
James Reid across to Conor Johnson, and now we have a chance and a brilliant finish. Kieran Walsh, the man. His first of the morning. Good play from Ireland. Used the width and got it back in, and a really good finish from Walsh.
Yeah, and that's the kind of goal you'd see week in, week out for Kieran Walsh when he's playing for Corrib. He's very hard to shake, to get the ball off when he's in that position, and he did exactly what he's known for. He put it back in the net.
So Ireland trailing by 5-4 at the end of the first quarter. They're leading by 7-5. In the second quarter, we have 2 minutes to go, and I think that the Irish bench will be very happy with the turnaround in the first 6 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, completely. I mean, look, the way Scotland command the blocks, I mean, with the head coach, Mark Speed, of the Dunfermline, Waterpolo and Caledonian, 56 caps for Scotland, and his biggest achievement playing for Scotland in the Commonwealth Games and getting bronze in 2014. So head coach Mark Speed also brings that international experience, and it's showing with the team he has out here in front of us this morning, really putting it up to this Irish team.
Yeah, absolutely. Good double-handed save from Owen Doyle there, and he's allowed Ireland to break up the field, and the little pass from McMahon inside looking for Matthew Hines was well cut out, and the Scots have it back with Wesley Connellan in the sticks, and they're coming up now on the far side with Ross Stewart, and he gives a good diagonal ball across now to Luca Deladrio Pollock, and Pollock gets it back just as quickly into a central area there. I think is it Rory Nesbitt has it, and Nesbitt just trying to work something and gets the shot away. I think Doyle had it covered regardless, but it did run very close to his right hand post. Just coming into the final minute now, and Ireland have a chance here to extend the lead.
Adam
They've got a
Caulfield.
brilliant chance now. Caulfield's left.
Oh,
What a
picked that
goal!
one out. Bum, 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 bum.
Caulfield with his
Adam
second goal of the
Caulfield.
morning. Came right down, a
Corov
breakaway goal,
man.
well set away on the left-handed shot into the far corner of Wesley Connellan's net. A fantastic finish, his second goal of the morning.
Absolutely superb goal, and you know, if you watch Adam Caulfield over the years, you see him in other tournaments and cups. One of his prime shots is that, you know, threatening a direct heavy shot and then a little lob finish. And it's a great one for, you know, kids to look at in terms of practice, driving it in and then looking at a lob when you know the keeper is out of position.
All right, so Scotland have it now with Ross Stewart, and Stewart just trying to orchestrate something. He did, and he got it straight back then after it came in, and it's back with Ladro Pollock, but Ireland swarmed around him in threes. They're really good defending, and Ireland have got the ball back, and they've got 30 seconds now on the clock. They've got 30 seconds on the shot clock to try and work something. They've been fouled in the central areas, and then Owen Bridgman now has it and looking for the option and gives it forward now to Stefan McMahon. McMahon with another one! Oh, they hit the top side of the crossbar, nearly identical to the one he got from this side with the other hand. Good effort, Mick.
Yeah, trying to match his colleague Adam from the left side, a lob, just like Adam's on the right, but it just didn't come off that time.
No, but absolutely worth the admission money alone, as Scotland just trying to get one last tack in the final 5 seconds, but good tracking back there by Conor Johnson to delay the proceedings, and I think that is that. But really good defending from Johnson. A fantastic second quarter from Ireland. They have outscored the Scots by 4-0, and they lead at half time by 8-5. We'll see you for quarter 3. All right, welcome back for the third quarter here in the National Aquatic Centre in Dublin, as Ireland and Scotland are just getting the second of this morning's games underway. And that was a really good tussle and really well won back there by Tiernan Colvin. He looked to have lost it initially. Great heart and determination, wins it back and gets it out now to the Cathal Brugha man, Adrian Hanna. Hanna just pops it across inside to James Reid.
Yeah, and like Tiernan Colvin of the Vincent's team, he's exactly one of those players that came from swimming at a very high level, and he's transitioned really well to water polo, which is great to see.
Yeah, absolutely, and he had a chance there to get it in centrally, but really good hand up there from Matthew Seward in the Scottish defence, and Scotland have overturned the ball and they've done really well. Scotland now shooting from left to right as you look on. Ireland, of course, from right to left. Scotland in the white hats with the navy numbers, and Ireland in the traditional green with the white. Both keepers in red, in case you're not familiar with the sport. But Scotland have it on the far left-hand side of the pool, and now they've worked it back in centrally to Matthew Seward, and Seward just gives it across to this near side here to Rory Nesbitt. Nesbitt trying to survey the options with less than 10 seconds on the shot clock, and Ireland defending quite well. Looks to be a very narrow shape and getting all hands up, and they've turned the ball over here really well. They've really good defence. That's a brilliant start. And Goran Zablic will be delighted, Mick, with how they defended that.
Yeah, and Andrew Melville getting in a bit of a tussle with Steele McMahon. Not something you should do lightly, because typically Steele will be the man who'll come out best from those.
All right, well, there's one Brugha man to the other. McMahon to Hanna, across now to Reid, and Reid gets it back to McMahon via the attentions of Max Connolly. Chance on here now for Reid! Bit like the one he hit in the end of the second quarter. There was a lot of venom in that one.
Yeah, and again, we talk about the accuracy. Like at this level of water polo, it's so important. If you're going to go for those shots, they've got to hit at least the keeper. They've got to hit the cage. And there's two that James has just missed a little bit. So percentages at this level, you've got to be accurate.
I think when you go back to the club, you may take him out for some one-on-one, Mick.
Listen, I've tried.
All right, a foul in the Irish area there. Kieran Walsh, the guilty party, and he's been excluded from the action now. And Dominic Zahra has given it across to Andrew Melville, the man that was in the... Oh, brilliant finish! Oh, that was class from Matthew Seward. But it was Melville, I was going to say. He was in the altercation with Steve McMahon, but did really well to switch it across to Seward, and Seward gets his first goal of the morning.
Yeah, and it's a young man from Portobello. Again, everybody from Portobello tuned in here on HBV live stream, Ireland Water Polo. Fantastic goal there for the young man from Portobello, 19 years of age. And it feels like, it looks like this is his first major term for Scotland. His achievement so far was winning the BUCS 2022 with Edinburgh University.
And another man that went to Edinburgh for university was our producer here today, David. Spent 3 years in that beautiful city, but meanwhile back in this beautiful city, and Ireland are on the attack, Mick. Trying to work something here now with Owen Bridgman. A shot came in, and it was a really good effort there from Aidan Malani, again off the water, and the speed, and Wesley Kennellan was in no man's land. He didn't know where that was going. Scotland.
Indeed, Kieran, and again, some of those shots out from deep, we want to see a little bit more intent on them, and here's a chance for Aidan Malani to...
Here's a really good chance now. There was one back by Aidan Malani, a good right hand in, and he's intercepted, and Ireland have 4 players to Scotland's 3. The referee's seeing something he's not happy with. There's been an exclusion, and the Scottish number 4 has gone out of the game. That's Andrew Melville, and Ireland have a chance now to really capitalise here. The chance is in the hand of Killian Colvin, but a really good right-handed save from Wesley Kennellan. He's turned it around for a corner. It was a good breakaway, probably a very good foul from Melville to give away.
Indeed, and again, talking about making sure you'll use the 6-on-5, setting up, getting those players in position where you can work the goalie.
Oh, what a shot! Really good effort from Killian Colvin. It was worked across from Conor Johnson to Aidan Malani and over to Colvin, and he just did all the right things, trying to get into that far right-hand corner. Loads of spin on it, but unfortunately for him, it hit the post, and Scotland will break down this right-hand side now with Luca de Lazzaro Pollock. Pollock just pops it across too. Rory Nesbitt, and Nesbitt now just trying to find the right option. They've less than 10 seconds. Ireland have been defending quite well in these scenarios today, and they've thrown a silly one away. 3 seconds to go, the shout came in, and Ireland again have turned them over, Mick.
Indeed. So, like, defensively, Ireland have been very good in these opening, 3 quarters, Kieran, and that's important, with the closeness and tightness of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you can do that at one end and then try and capitalise at the other, just as they have. What a finish from Owen Bridgman. It's his first goal of the morning, and Ireland 9-6 in front.
And that's the kind of goal you want to see from a player like Owen Bridgman, when it's the importance of getting goals in, because it's a tight game. We've had a couple of misses for Ireland where they should have been put away, but Owen Bridgman slotted one home to maybe calm the team down a little bit, because it's quite an edgy game. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of intensity. So getting another goal to make it 9-6, really important.
All right, well, exiting the action here is actually Killian Colvin, and Scotland with the ball in the safe hands of Ben Scott. Scott across to Luca de Ladro-Pollock and back to Scott. Just trying to work something, and he's found something now with Rory Nesbitt. Back to Scott. And de Ladro-Pollock has stayed wide, and Ireland now doing well. 10 seconds left on the clock, but Scotland still have the ball. A chance. Oh! What an absolute beautiful finish that was. When you beat Owen Doyle, you've done something right. And that was a really good finish there from Rory Nesbitt.
Rory Nesbitt of the Caledonian club, and as we said, his biggest achievement so far was scoring his international debut. Well, I think he's outdoing himself now with some of the performance he's shown here today, and that's a really nice goal. It's a fantastic finish.
Yeah, super finish from Nesbitt. His first goal of the morning. Stay with us after this game. Of course, Wales and Scotland at 1:45, and then at 3:15, Ireland and England. So the ladies resume. The next 2 games will be back to the ladies' home nations, and we had 2 cracking games. Oh, what a cracking finish! That was a brilliant finish there. Owen Bridgman, a couple of goals in a couple of minutes.
Bridgman having a really strong game. But that's another super finish from the Vincent's man.
So as we're saying, Mick, we've been looking forward to this for all day this morning. 6 fantastic games. We've had a good game already this morning with England and Wales. We're having another really exciting game here, and then of course we've 2 cracking ladies games coming up after lunch.
Yeah, as we said, Kieran, this is the first time we've had this 4 nations here in Dublin in over 10 years. So brilliant to see the level of water polo we have, whether you're watching it on the live stream at HBV or here pitchside. We're really seeing across all the games excellent water polo. Really exciting stuff.
Oh, and an excellent save there. Second time a basket, a double save. A brilliant double save from Owen Doyle, and he just kept Scotland at bay. And now Ireland had a chance, and that chance was well sniffed out there by Luca de Ladro-Pollock, just when it looked as if Ireland and Killian Colvin were going to get another one and extend their lead to 4. But Ireland have done well defensively. An infringement, and it's been taken out now by James Reid on the far side of the pool, and Ireland have lots of numbers up the pool. In fact, they have a numerical advantage if they can move it a little bit quicker, and Zablic is just telling them to go and just move it a little bit quicker, and there's no real option now for James Reid. The ball's been slowed down, but he has a man behind him if he wants him. That man is Adam Caulfield, but well done, and Scotland have overturned it, and I don't think Scotland will be on the attack now. It's a 1-on-2 situation, but I think he's going to get there. It's the Scottish number 10, Dominique Zahra. Oh, off the post. And Mick, had that gone in, Ireland could have only blamed themselves.
Indeed, Kieran. And again, James Reid, in fact, James was out on the right wing where he's normally inside around the point area. But here he is now. Can he do something to get another goal for the Irish team to make it 11-7?
Yeah, and just that last passage of play, Ireland had 3v1, but they still couldn't capitalise. And then on the far end of things, Scotland had a 1-on-2 and nearly scored. So little bits of luck you get. Chance on here centrally now, and Ireland trying to work. So
well done, Matthew Hines, sneaking one in under the goalkeeper's arms to get in through the cage. Well done, exactly what we needed. 11-7.
Really good
Scotland
finish.
Will come back. Absolute, make no mistake about that.
So really good finish that time from Matthew Hines, and he was under all sorts of pressure from Rory Nesbitt, but did really well to get the shot off and to beat Wesley Connellan in the Scottish goal. So Ireland lead by 11-7. They are winning this quarter by 3-2, and it's been a very impressive turnaround in quarter 2 and indeed continuation in quarter 3 from the Irish team.
Yeah, as I just said there, Scotland aren't going away. They're putting it up to Ireland. They're driving well. They're moving well. So Scotland's still in this game, make no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We might just run through the Scottish team that is here in Dublin. Oh! That is absolutely brilliant stuff. The pass came in from Matthew Seward right into Ben Scott, and Scott got his second goal. A really clever finish from the Scottish number 7. We'll just run through the Scottish team. Wearing 1, Wesley Canellan. Wearing 3, Matthew Seward. Andrew Melville 4, number 5, Luca Deladro Pollock. Finlay Nesbitt 6, Ben Scott 7, Ross Stewart 8, Rory Nesbitt 9, Dominique Zahra 10, Lewis Hunter 11, James Miller 12, and Thomas Cameron at 13. That is the Scottish 12-man squad for this home nations here in Dublin.
And indeed, just like the Welsh side we saw earlier, quite a heavy load from the likes of Portobello, Waterpolo team, Caledonia, and we also have players from others. So basically Caledonia and Portobello, really big contingent in this squad.
Yeah, Matthew Seward did a really good rob. Steve McMahon not happy. We thought it was a bad pass. Either way, Seward is driving deep into the Irish area. Can he do something with just 15 seconds left in the shot clock? There's been an infringement, and Seward's done well. It was a really good rob, as I said, and Scotland have the possession back with the lad de Pollock. Chance centering now for Scotland. That's a really good finish. An excellent goal. Scotland intercepted it, brought it up the field, used all the time they had, and a really good finish there from Finlay Nesbitt. Sloppy one for Ireland to give away, and the head coach not happy.
Yeah, and Finlay has won back-to-back BUCSs with Edinburgh University 22 and then Durham University in 2023. So Finlay having a really fine game this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, Mick, we've seen a lot of water polo between last night and this morning. This has been a really tight, evenly matched contest. And
this is what we like to see in water polo. In fairness, Kieran, games like this where both teams are going at each other up and down the pitch, and the fact that it's so tight just makes for really exciting watching. I hope that's coming across with HBV live stream this morning.
Well, that was a really exciting shot there from Kieran Walsh, just one of those backhanded ones, and it went well wide in the end, but it was a good piece of skill to engineer it and get it away. Matthew Seward now for Scotland, long ball inside. Can they work something great take in there? And Scotland just trying to work it now. Do they have options? They've won back in the central area. That man is Finlay Nesbitt, the recent goal scorer, and Nesbitt just gives a small one sideways, looking to get it back and still hasn't got it. Scotland with a lob shot, but that is easy.
And we're away.
Ireland have a break down the field. Good release from Owen Doyle. The chance here now for Killian Colvin. Was that a timeout called? Or was it indeed the end of the third quarter? A little bit of confusion either way. I think it might have been a timeout. Alright, so a lot of confusion here in the National Aquatic Centre. And Mick O'Kane, you are the expert on all things water polo, so over to you. What's going on?
Yeah, so it looks like there was a little glitch with the clock from the timekeeping from the bench. So the referee's just consulting with the technical director of this morning, Steve O'Brien from St. Vincent's. So the referees will now advise what is left on the clock.
That one was really harsh there because Owen Doyle had set Killian Colvin away and it was a one-on-one scenario. So Ireland will feel a little bit aggrieved with that one, Mick.
Indeed, but the positive, Kieran, is that Ireland will get the possession and they're where they want to be. So the opportunity, while he was true, and in fact that the pass wasn't as clean as we'd like. Sometimes you want that ball literally just on the nose of the player. And in fact, Killian had a little bit of work to get to it, so it wasn't as clean as it looked in terms of a counter.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. So when we resume, I think we'll have 34 seconds left. So thankfully that's been sorted out. There was mass confusion here, but thankfully it's all been sorted out, and the ball is with Stefan Steo McMahon, and he's given an inside chance from James Reid. One thing I'd comment on there, maybe, Mick, is James Reid shooting a wee bit wayward this morning.
Yeah, look, opening game, so, we have it. Some players need a match to get into the tournament and get their way through, and particularly when you're shooting from far out, finding your accuracy, finding your range. So I expect James, the type of player he is, to figure out, adjust that, and see a little bit more better percentage on his shot taking.
All right, well, there has been a timeout called. It looks like it's an Irish timeout down to our right-hand side here, just as the third quarter is drawing to a conclusion. We'll have 34 seconds left upon resumption. What do you think the message is coming in from the Irish bench, and then, of course, from the Scottish bench?
Look, I think, what's important with what we've seen from Goran and how he wants his team to play. They set up well in attack, and they move well as a unit. But in fairness to Scotland, they've been able to match really well man to man. We talk about looking at match-up, matching up players with what you're faced with. So the Scottish coach has done that really well in terms of analysing quickly what Ireland have, where the strengths are, maybe where he sees some weaknesses on different wings, or through the point and through the centre forward, and then switching. We talk about how the centre back may end up being centre forward. So there's lots of looking at each other. But so far, I would say both coaches have been reasonably happy with this first performance. I would say Ireland would look at some elements they want to improve clearly for the match tonight against England.
All right, well, both sides are back in the water after the timeout, and this game has absolutely flown by. Really exciting stuff. Ireland trailed, of course, 5-4 at the end of quarter one. They led then 8-5 at half time, so won the second quarter by 4-0, and they are now 11-9 up. So trailing this quarter by 4-3.
It's been a really good game, and look, I can see in terms of turnout of spectators, we've seen a good turnout this morning. I see some of my club colleagues, Paul Byrne, Jimmy, and Shay Cope over there, and so they're enjoying the game. It's really a great game to watch so far.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic action here. So that was the end of the quarter. So we're having all sorts of technical difficulties up here in the National Aquatic Centre. But either way, it is the third quarter that has completed, and the fourth quarter will start. Ireland with the slender advantage of 11-9. And the final swim off in this opening match of both of these two teams, won by the Scots, and good pressure coming there. Have Ireland turned it over? No, they haven't. It was Tiernan Colvin who's putting on mass amounts of pressure, but unfortunately for him, he was doing it illegally, and Scotland have worked it down the far side of the pool with Dominic Zahra getting the ball away now, and Scotland just trying to, can they work something with pressure being applied by James Reid, as there's a chance in the central area here for Scotland if they can release it that little bit quicker, and a chance maybe for Ben Scott, who's been very good, and Scott with a bounce shot, and just went wide, Mick.
Yeah, good effort from the young man, and Ireland back with the possession.
So our next game here on HBV Live will be the 1:45 game between Wales and Scotland, followed at 3:15 by Ireland and England from the ladies section of the Home Nations tournament. So two cracking games in store for you in the afternoon. But meanwhile, we have a cracking game here.
Winning the exclusion, so Ireland with a 6-5 up.
So Ireland now trying to work something, and it's James Reid back for Colvin, and now it comes out to Steo McMahon, and he gives it across to Reid, and Reid just going as far as he can to the baseline, fake the shot, gives it back inside to the other Colvin, and he to Killian, back across now to McMahon, and Ireland just trying to work something off the post. Was really well worked just as the time was about to expire. Good shot from McMahon, but just couldn't beat Connellan in the Scottish goal.
Yeah, again, a 6-on-5 that Ireland would really have liked to have seen a return on. Unfortunately, they didn't get it, so still plenty of time in this game for other opportunities like that. But something maybe Goran's have to look at is the percentages of the success of those man-up 6-on-5s.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here's another chance. But again, Ireland are really defending well. You're hearing loud counts coming from the Scottish bench just when they're inside the final 5 seconds of the shot clock. And I think that's one thing Ireland would be happy with, is the defending.
Yeah, indeed. And look, with this quarter being tied at 11-9, every single thing that the teams do in terms of defence, particularly Ireland, being tight like that is so vital to hopefully push them through to the win. But Scotland are keen to make sure that they will do everything in their power to get back in it.
Yeah, well, good play there from Ireland. James Reid into Stiffo McMahon, but McMahon's effort went to the right and wide of Kennellan's goal, and now Kennellan has set away Matthew Seward on this right hand side, and it's very bunched and gathered in there, but there's trying to be a breakaway, and the breakaway coming from James Miller, keeping the width in the Scottish attack, and it's come across now to Rory Nesbitt, and Nesbitt, as quick as he had it, gives it on to Ben Scott, and Scott got it across this side to Miller. Miller now giving it to central area. What a finish that time from Finlay Nesbitt. Mick, I know you're a fan of those ones.
Yeah, and look, I mean, the Scottish team must have been reading my mind, because they did exactly what I thought they were going to look to do, is get back up the pitch and try and get a goal, nick a goal back. And they've done that. They've brought it to 11-10. So with 5:35 left, it is all to play for in this very exciting game.
Yeah, it's one of those games you just don't want to see the end of, because the excitement is excellent and the teams are very well matched. As you can see, 11-10. And, with the exception of that second quarter where Ireland won it by 4-0, there's been absolutely nothing between these sides.
Yeah, it's testament again to the Scottish coach looking at what's in front of him and getting his players to respond to those matchups. Yeah,
well, I think there's been it's been a timeout actually called by the Scottish coach, and probably a good time to get them in and just tell them to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, it's one of the great parts of the Waterpolo is that teams can use the timeout when they see it as an important part of regrouping, understanding their roles, what type of team you're going to put in the water, depending on what's available to them. So, we talk about utility players in their profiles. You've seen that in the program. They'll say, I'm a utility player. It means they can get in at certain times to play in the wing, to even go centre forward. So having players on your bench, on your roster, that can bring that to the game, particularly late on when players are getting tired, is really helpful.
Yeah, all right. Well, there's been a switch on the Irish side. Adrian Henna's back in. He's come in for Aidan Mullaney. So the Cathal Brugha man in place of the tribesman. I think Ireland have an additional player here, Mick, and Owen Doyle will start the ball from just inside the Irish half.
Indeed. So to me, this looks like we talked about a specialty team in for 6-on-5. So let's look at what this team will do.
Yeah, let's see now. Chances at the Killian Colvin, and back out now to Owen Bridgman, and fouled on the far side, and Ireland have it back. Bridgman just popping it out again and looking here for Killian Colvin, and Colvin back to Bridgman. Bridgman pops it out one more time. A good double-handed save from Wesley Kennellan in the Scottish goal. That was a really big save, and it stops Ireland extending their lead to 2. It remains at 1, and Scotland have just under 5 minutes now to try and get a win out of this game. A good left-handed save, and then again, well done to keep it from going out from a corner from Owen Doyle. A good shot from Rory Nesbitt, but the Irish number 1 more than equal to it, and Killian Colvin just taking the ball up and slowing the game down, allowing his swimmers to get forward. And Ireland now have it with Adrian Hannon. There's a wee pop inside if he can, but he can't. Back to Killian Colvin as Matthew Hines is the man breaking away. Bridgman's got in here if he can get it, but when he won the ball, he seemed to have went under the water and just couldn't come back up, and Kennellan sets Scotland away down this right-hand side now with Andrew Melville, and the men in the back areas, they haven't got them up the field. Ireland defending really well. Adrian Hanna getting back really quick, as was Conor Johnson, and another timeout called.
You can't take your eyes off this one, Kieran. It's really end-to-end stuff. Ireland were 6-on-5. Scotland countered to get back up to try and get it to 11-all. Great save from Owen Doyle. It's a really fantastic game to watch.
Yeah, it's absolutely pulsating. It's end-to-end, as you say. You can't take your eyes off it, and if you do, you're going to miss a really quick passage of play. Meanwhile, just looking down to our right-hand side here, Killian Colvin is out for a period of 20 seconds, Mick, and Scotland have an extra player now.
Indeed, and look, as I said to you, the head coach for Scotland will be looking at his options here, and Mark Speed, so he'll be comfortable with the 6 players he's got in, that they will have worked out a play. There'll be something looking at, whether it's to point men. In North Dublin, we talk about doing the Joseph. There's lots of little moves and tricks that could come out here. So let's see what Scotland have in their 6-on-5 tactics.
And it's really interesting now that Scotland have left 2 players out, really. So Ireland have a defensive monopoly for the time being, and it's Nesbitt across now to Scott, and Scotland just trying to work it through the back. Oh, unforced errors like that make are really unnecessary.
Yeah, it's maybe a sign of the pressure both sides are feeling in such a tight game.
All right, well, Ireland now trying to work it out with the man that had been excluded. He's back into the fray. Here's Killian Colvin, and Colvin was set away by the Sandy Cove man, Owen Doyle, and Colvin just gives it across to Bridgman. Bridgman pops it across now, and there's a chance in there. I think Adam Caulfield had it, but there was fouling on one of the Irish players, fouling one of the Scots, and Scotland will take it out now with Ben Scott. And Ben Scott just popping it across now to his number 9 here. That's Rory Nesbitt, and Nesbitt has lots of room. Adrian Hanna trying to get out to him. Strong swimmer. Gives it across.
Not the kind of player you want to see coming across here. Big man, big unit, Adrian Hanna.
Yeah, great final last week. Again, he was named in the team of the tournament in the Irish Senior Cup. The Scottish looking to say the head was pushed under, but Owen Doyle safely has the ball, and Hanna's exiting the pool, and back in from the Irish point of view there is Kieran Walsh in the number 3 cap. So Ireland away in the area, and now the Scottish number 6 Finlay Nesbitt has been excluded, and Ireland have a chance. Killian Colvin has it, trying to find someone centrally. He's found that player. That player is Conor Johnson, and Johnson was winding up the shot, but again there's been a timeout called.
Yeah, and look, in this kind of tight game, the exclusions are coming thick and fast, and already for the Scottish team, Luca there, the Pollock, he's been excluded because he's had 3. So this happens with these types of games where it's close, players are battling for possession. So Luca's out for Scotland, so that takes one out of their bench. He may have been vital for certain plays. So with the type of game we have, every player making sure that they don't get out exclusions at this stage of the game, and then Ireland themselves will be looking for those exclusions to get more man-ups and to put the squeeze on this Scottish side to get a goal that would give them a 2-goal cushion.
2 goals at a moment like this with just over 3 minutes to go on the clock would be absolutely huge. And likewise, Scotland know if they can get one back, they really have a great chance of getting a draw or potentially even going on and win this game. But anyway, Ireland have a numerical advantage. The extra man, the ball will start again with Owen Doyle, and Ireland now dropping 2 men out. Those 2 men out they're dropping are Killian Colvin and Owen Bridgman, and it is Bridgman who has it, but he gives it this time to Steo McMahon, and Steo back to Bridgman. Bridgman pops it out to the far side, and Ireland trying to just work it back again. It's coming here, chance now. Good hands, great hand. Oh, what an absolutely brilliant goal. The play that time was sensational, and it came across. Couple of little ones. Bridgman inside. The flick down there came from Matthew Hines before it was emphatically finished to the back
by Conor Johnson.
Oh, the back of Wesley Cannellan's net. Mick Conor Johnson. That was an absolutely brilliant goal.
Conor renowned for getting in with those types of 6-on-5s and being on the post. And again, for the young players watching home, the players at the post always be ready because passes could come into you real tight. And he did a great job putting that one away to make it 12-10.
Quick hands and quick thinking, and Ireland suddenly have a 2-goal advantage, and they'll be very happy with that coming into the final 2 minutes of the match. Adrian Hanna trying to put real pressure there on Dominic Zahra, and once again Ireland have done really well in the defensive shape, but unfortunately there I think there has been a foul. The Irish number 6 Adam Caulfield, the guilty party, and he will exit the fray. And Scotland trying to work something now. Really good hit there from Dominic Zahra. That's his 4th goal. He's had a really good game.
Oh, that man Dominic Zahra again with an absolute screamer from out wide. And look, he had the confidence to put it away without moving the ball around. So he knew himself he had the confidence to put it away, even with the start of a 6-on-5.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you, Mick, that this game, it moves so quick from end to end. One thing that's sticking in my mind is that Steo McMahon penalty earlier on going to come back to haunt Ireland?
Well, Steele's fighting down there to get himself up the pitch to help out his teammates to get another goal back. He's driving through as Steele does here on the left wing, putting pressure on the defender. Look at Steele.
Chance
really
again now for Ireland. Conor Johnson, after good build-up play by Bridgman and Caulfield, Johnson had the opportunity, but unfortunately for him it went wide. And Scotland now, Ireland have got back really well, and it will take a lot for Zahra to do anything here, but he was fouled that time and fouled by Bridgman, but it's come across now and there's a chance for, real good chance centrally here. Good goalkeeping. That was excellent. Really good play between Rory Nesbitt and Andrew Melville, but thankfully from an Irish point of view it was mopped up, and now the ball went slightly behind Adam Caulfield, but he responded quickly enough, and he's telling Ireland to get up the field, and in the hands now of Conor Johnson. And Johnson, who just got the last goal, gives it across, and there's a chance in now in the hole for McMahon, but he was well defended there, and defended by Finlay Nesbitt. Back with Canellan, and out on this right hand side now towards Rory Nesbitt, and Scotland will have to take it up. Ireland just getting all the way back into that defensive shape, trying to prevent something here. They have 1 goal of a lead with just over a minute to go. Scotland trying to work a draw.
Zahra with the ball. He is dangerous. This could be a shot.
And Dominic Zahra takes the shot. What a save! Big left forearm by Owen Doyle and the Irish sticks. It'll be a corner to Scotland. It could have been much worse, but Mick, as you were saying, he's the man that's making everything happen.
Yeah, it's that danger man, Zahra. He's feeling the shots. I mean, when you see players, you can see that they know they've got it in them. They like their shot percentages, and he had that in him, but Doyle was up for it.
Inside the final 60 seconds here at game 2. And Scotland have the ball now with Ross Stewart. That could be a real good chance. The keeper came out. He was surrounded by 3. And somehow Ireland have won the ball back. Brilliant. Now Ireland have a chance to punish, but the Irishman clearly been fouled. But Mick, was there much of a difference in that and the play at the other end?
Well, look, it was the way that the Irish defence and Owen Doyle were able to handle that. And what they've done is put this game away with that final goal. In terms of 13-11, 44 seconds left on the clock, but I feel that is the one. That is the sucker blow for Scotland.
That was a really big move there. Dominic Zahra was surrounded by 3 Irish players, and the ball was turned over, and Conor Johnson getting his second goal, and that's a huge one because it just gives Ireland that little cushion of a 2-goal advantage, and it's 13 goals to 11 now. Ireland lead. We have 42 seconds left on the clock. Scotland trying to work something with the very impressive Ben Scott. Scott now just trying to tell his players to move, and he's found one again. It's Zahra. Zahra's got inside. There's a chance for Zahra, and I think it was James Reid that was fouling again, and with 32 seconds on the clock we have a Scottish penalty.
The Irish team had done all the work there to make it 13-11, but here's now an opportunity for Scotland to make it 13-12. What a game. This is breathtaking stuff.
So Finlay Nesbitt. Good goal for Finlay, his hat-trick. It's Scotland's 12th, and this is absolutely pulsating stuff here. Ireland just ringing the changes now.
They've
4 men
emptied
in,
the bench.
4 men out, and the head coach, Goran Zablic, is just looking to solidify and just take what he has.
He's put the bomb squad in, as we like to call it. He's put in the heavy hitters that will hopefully shorten and tighten up this match now, that Scotland won't be able to get that equalising goal.
A little bit of concrete and blocks might be more useful, build a wall around Owen Doyle's goal there and keep the Scots out, but Ireland will start the game. And if they manage this effectively, they'll have 30 seconds with the ball, which will only leave Scotland with 2 seconds to get a shot. So really, it's advantage Ireland.
Yep, very exciting stuff, Kieran. Let's see what happens.
So Ireland now just being clever and just not going to give the ball away. Killian Colvin did well. He was fouled. And Ireland now just popping it backwards to Steve McMahon. Will he go back to Owen Doyle? No, he's been fouled instead. And he's not happy with that one. He's been fouled consistently and fouled again. The 2 number 7s on each other. Ben Scott fouling Stiffon McMahon. And the referee has given him a yellow card. So a yellow card. What are the implications of that going forward, Mick?
One to watch, Kieran. Let's keep our
another
eyes
foul
on this
again, and Stiffon McMahon
seconds of the game.
just trying to work the ball and trying to do something, and Ireland have it now with Conor Johnson, and Johnson gives it back to McMahon. Really good play. 7 seconds to go, and they've worked it really well. Ireland up now to Owen Bridgman. The shot clock is up, but they won't mind that. One last attack from Scotland. Dominic Zara. There'll be 2 seconds left when play resumes. And Scotland have called a final timeout of the game here. So it'll be one last instruction to try and just work the goal. Ireland will have to do their best to keep them out, and if they do, they will have a first win of the tournament and go top of the group alongside England.
Oh, listen, there's not much can be said except just watch how this is going to unfold. 13-12, we've had it all in this game. We've had brilliant goals, brilliant defending, brilliant goalkeeping from both sides. So to see this as the last part, I mean, obviously for both teams, a draw or a win will be important to how the rest of the weekend unfolds. So Ireland desperate to get the win, and Scotland would love to salvage a point, because that can have lots of implications for what unfolds for the next 2 days.
All right, so this is it. And Scotland with one last chance now to draw the game. I don't know what's happened. Oh. Big save from Owen Bridgman, and that save has meant that Ireland remain unbeaten after one game at the home nations. A tight, tense affair, but it's come out for the right side for the Irish squad. They've won here by 13 goals to 12. We'll see you in the afternoon for the return of the women, and first up will be Wales and Scotland. We'll see you then.